right, in part two of my exclusive sit-down with Vice President J.D. Vance, we talked about the growing appeal of socialism, very disturbing, and Kamala's new blame game. Kamala Harris has a new book out. I know it's dog-eared on your nightstand, called 107 Days.
Real page turner.
That's the length of her campaign. She called you in it a juvenile and a shapeshifter, and even almost called you a bad word, but she didn't write the whole thing out. Anyway, she is now blaming the campaign, her loss, for the fact that it was short. That's one of the main things she cites. She had more time, could have gotten more traction. Your reaction to that?
My reaction is if you look at the polling, both the public and the private polling, the problem is not that Kamala's campaign was too short, it's that it was too long. That when people actually listened to what she had to say, her polling went down and down and down. I think that if we had a 150-day campaign, we probably would have had 3 additional Republican senators, and Donald Trump would have won by an even bigger landslide, because the more people know about Kamala Harris, the more they realize there's no substance there. I mean, agree or disagree with Barack Obama or Bill Clinton, they actually had substance. They could actually articulate a viewpoint. I listened to Kamala Harris for 90 seconds, and I actually feel like I've gotten dumber in the process, and I have no idea what she actually believes. That's the problem with Kamala Harris, and it's going to continue to be her problem unless she actually learns how to develop a viewpoint, articulate it for the American people. Just say what you actually believe. Don't do this word salad, talking around in circles. It doesn't work, and it's why she didn't win.
Mamdani's popularity is strong in New York. Socialist, communist, whatever you want to call him. But his big push is for, quote, affordability. And for young people, and I think this is something you touched on in Hillbilly Elegy, for people who feel like there's no hope, that no matter what they do, they can't really get ahead, they've tried, but they can barely make ends meet. That word affordability, and I'll give you free stuff, is very powerful.
Yes, it is.
What does that tell you about the future, especially if this economy, if this economy runs into snags? Does this message of Mamdani's get more attractive?
Well, first of all, we have to give the president a lot of credit here because he inherited one of the worst inflation crises in American history, and we've had very stable inflation over the last 7 or 8 months, sort of 2 to 3%, right where economists typically say that you want it. But there's a lot of work to do because prices got so high under the Biden administration. I actually think most conservatives, where I disagree with a lot of my friends on the right, we make a mistake in dismissing Mamdani as a socialist, as a communist. These things are all absolutely true. I don't care about that. What I care about is why are young people so attracted to this message? And the reason is they feel like the American dream is unaffordable. If you're a 25-year-old kid who can't afford a home, if you're a 25-year-old kid whose wages don't allow you to take a nice vacation once a year, who don't allow you to actually enjoy your life, then you're going to be attracted to somebody who's promising free stuff. Do I agree with the solutions? No. But Laura, we just finished celebrating the life of Charlie Kirk just last week. He's a great guy, but Charlie was smarter about this than almost any conservative I've ever talked to, because he recognized that what we have to do is give young people a stake in the future. Housing is too expensive. Groceries are too expensive. Now, I would say they're too expensive because we inherited a disastrous Biden economy and we're making progress. It's only been 8 months, but we've made a lot of progress. But unless we give young people a stake in the future, we can't dismiss their concerns as socialism. They're going to choose socialism if given an option between free stuff and a bad life. We have to make sure they have an option between free stuff and a real life of dignity, of purpose. That's what the American conservative movement can provide to them. But we've got to do a better job at articulating it, or they're going to continue to be attracted to people like Mamdani.
October 1st, if the White House and Congress doesn't agree for a plan to continue funding the government will shut down.
That's right.
The Democrat spin machine, full force all day long. It's going to be all week long, blaming the administration for not funding the government, saying Russ Vought is threatening mass firings are going to be permanent if the Democrats don't come to the table. To that, you say?
Well, he's threatening what? He's threatening to try to find a way to make the government function if the Democrats shut it down. We have to realize the Democrats, their whole argument is we are going to shut down the government unless you give $1 trillion for medical benefits for illegal aliens. The major health care reform that we've done in this administration is we've made it harder to give your hard-earned tax dollars to medical benefits for illegal aliens. The Democrats want to undo that. And they're saying that unless you give that money to those illegal aliens, unless you give those benefits to those illegal aliens, we are going to shut down the people's government. It's such a stark contrast between two parties' priorities. We want to put the government to work for the American people first. The Democrats want to shut down the government because we won't give free benefits to illegal aliens. It's such a good, again, contrast for what the Democrats stand for and what Republicans stand for. We're not going to be, look, we're not going to be taken hostage by the Democrats' desperate desire to give your tax money to illegal aliens. We're just not going to do it.
Is it hard,
So we've
though?
put a bill out there. By the way, Laura, the bill that we've put out there that was passed by the Republican Congress is just a continuation of the current levels of government funding. By the way, Laura, I don't even like that. I think the government should be spending less money, but we recognize that we have to, because the Democrats control 47 seats in the Senate, we recognize we need 60 total votes. That means we have to get 7 Democrats, and that means we have to get something that the Democrats can actually vote for. If you can't get 7 Democrats to vote for a clean continuing resolution, if you can't get 7 Democrats who won't shut down the government because they're so concerned about not providing benefits to illegal aliens, then what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to actually, bargain with effectively those who are trying to take the government hostage to give benefits to illegal aliens? We refuse to do it, Laura.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.